Today I'm going to show you how I draw faces, especially if you are a beginner. This might come handy. It's not the best tutorial online, let me tell you. It's just the way I usually draw faces and the references I used to use and small guides in order for me to learn how to draw better faces. I don't necessarily use them right now because it's very intuitive for me, but I think this might be helpful. So let's get into it. So first of all, something that I would say to all of you is to always have a reference, because references are always the best way for us to learn and to get used to face proportions and to start observing some details and differences, especially between male faces and female faces, child faces, adult faces, all of those little differences. This is how you start getting the hang of it, and you start memorizing things. Your muscle memory will get you there as long as you practice and draw a lot of faces. So let's use this small reference here. Let's use this small guide just to see and to have a notion of basic face proportions and all of that. And then I'll guide you how I usually do these. So this tutorial is for a front face view, front view of the face. So first of all, let's draw a circle. Of course, this is going to be the head. Doesn't need to be a very neat circle. You can be as sketchy as you want, or at least this is my opinion, because the small lines that aren't really the ones you want to keep sometimes help you to visualize your drawings better. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but this is kind of how I feel. And so this circle will kind of represent this face until like this part up to the jawline. See? At least, again, this is how I usually do it. And then you do a small horizontal line and a small vertical line, like a cross in the middle. Doesn't need to be absolutely perfect, but this can be very helpful. And this will represent, of course, the middle of the nose. And, well, actually, let me redo this. This circle is meant to represent more or less the hairline and here the mouth area. More or less here up to the jawline. Being this here, and more or less in the middle, it's the eyes. We will change the proportions, we will arrange everything, but I guess this is kinda easier for you to know where things go. And so starting from there, from here, you can do then like a small triangle that connects up here to the middle and connect these two dots with another circle. This would be more or less the jawline. Of course, mine is also kinda, it's not the straightest lines, but I feel like this kinda represents and helps to view things. The ears are going to be more or less here under this line. We will change everything and we will arrange things as we go. So these are the first steps. Now, let's do something on top of this. Now we are going to define the face even more. So, up more or less here till the jawline, so it's the middle of this, where the curve here starts to get curvy. You kind of define it more, and it depends. So for women and children, this part will be curvier. For men, it will be like you see here, kind of like a Chad jawline. So men will be pointier, women and children will be rounder, and this is kind of a rule somewhat. Men will have much more defined face traits than women. Generally speaking, of course, there are differences here. Being that here on the chin area, it's better if you keep it a bit flatter, just to define that there is something there. So flatter here, curvy here, and straight here. Curve, flat, curve, flat. Just kind of to define things. And yeah, we can keep this more or less like this. This will be a hairline, we suppose, because of course the hair will go higher than this. So this is the hairline. And from here we have some small ears that we can do. We can define them like little hooks, just to find there's something going on here. More or less like this. So again, around this area we will draw the eyes. And to draw the eyes, something that might help is like to divide these sections again on the middle, or at least again this is how I usually do, and draw a small circle where the lines cross. Creepy, isn't it? From here you can do like an upper lid and another upper lid. Okay, you can do like a smaller one on top, you can do whatever. This is like very this is just a sketch. Do remember, please, your sketches are going to be very ugly right in the beginning. You have to be okay with it, because you'll start defining things more and more as we go. And from here, you can do the one down here or not, but I wouldn't advise you to. It's better to keep it a bit more defined in the beginning. And so from here, and for the nose, another thing that you can do is kind of go here to the middle, cross or the end more or less here of the circle, a bit I would say so. And here I'm talking about the sketch part. So more or less here near the end you can kind of mark a small stroke to be the nose area, kind of like we have here. You see, this would be the distance. So not right in the middle, but a bit lower. In this case, okay, it would be right over here or something. And near to this line, another one to mark the mouth. You can do like a triangle here or something, just to help you define it. This triangle will be kind of more like, you see, there's kind of like mats to it. Something kind of, just to define that there is something happening here. Drawing a small triangle also kind of helps us to remember that these are three-dimensional shapes. So they will vary a ton. Okay, from here also something you can do on the mouth, and we will do this right away, is that of course here right in the middle you can kind of do like a curvy, small curve, curvy, a small curve upward, and then connect the ends to the end of the mouth. Here like also a curve connecting the ends, and you see you have kind of a mouth here. The longer the mouth is and the thinner the lips are, usually it's, or a less defined mouth you have, it will look more malish. If you have like more defined lips or aesthetics or whatever, it will usually look more female. So this would be a small difference here. So again, you can see this is like a very random normal face, and I can see already that it isn't really centered, and I would have to center this. Thank God we are doing this digitally because it's much easier. Of course, you can also do this you can also do this on a piece of paper. I used to do this on a piece of paper all the time. And inverting your drawing can help you spot the difference. If you're using a piece of paper, just show it to yourself in front of a mirror and you'll see where everything looks kind of crooked. Oh, also here on the eye section, there should be like another eye in between, like a third eye. The distance of the eyes, this middle part, should be more or less another eye. Of course, varying in degrees, but this is kind of just to get the proportions right, once again. So we're just gonna put this here a bit straighter. Yeah. This is hair. Oh, and we should do the neck. So the neck, again, thicker will be more male. Thinner and curvier will look more female. But I mean, it's just a neck, so don't overthink it. It's like you can kind of start doing it right in the middle of the face, like where you have here, or the nearest you go here to the jawline, it will look more male. So we're going to do something more or less in between these two, kind of more like here and kind of look more like here. Again, you can always check your reference. His neck is starting more or less on his jawline, a bit further in, so you have that too. And yeah, we have a neck. Also here, right between the mouth and the chin, you can do like a small crease to represent here the crease that we have on our chins. More defined, less defined. You can do like different types of creases, you can do whatever you want. The world is your playground. Also, for eyebrows, what you can do is that you can do some other, and maybe we'll do these on a different color here. Some lines going upwards at the end of your eyes and on the middle. You see? And as you can see here, the eyebrows will start more or less on the same area as your crease and go more or less until the area of the crease on your nose, your nostril. And also here on this section, it will be like a small triangle here, so it will be more or less like this, a bit more outward. So here it's kind of like just marking a curve on top of your eyes. You can make the eyebrows look thinner or not. This is like all according to your style, but just marking like a curve here. So let me do this in another color just for you to check. So it should be more or less something like this. Thicker here, thinner on the other hand. Thicker here, thinner on the other end. And of course, whatever you do with the eyebrows, you will have different expressions. So yeah, this guy kind of looked like this. Now he doesn't anymore. This ear is really sticking outward here. So let's define this once again. So now we are going probably to use like a thicker pen here and start to define everything. So we aren't on the sketch area, on the sketch part anymore. So strokes should look a bit more defined right now. You can always redo them, so don't worry, this is just practice. But they should look more refined right now. So really marking like these parts. Jawline, chin, jawline, chin. You go upward to the hair, upward to the hair, and this will be more like hair, I guess. We're still not thinking about the hair. Now for the ears. You do the general shape again, and a general shape again. For the inner crease, here you can also see the reference again. It should be more or less something like this. So you have this inner hook that goes up and down. You have this small hook here, and if you do like another one here or another one here, I mean, all ears are really different, but kind of doing these overall same rules. So it should be something like this: up, root, inner one, another one here, and another in here, and this should be a ear. Okay, you can kind of put it like darker here to show there's a shadow. You can do whatever you want. It can be like a pointy ear too. You can do whatever. And now we are going to define the eyes. Defining the eyes. Bigger eyes for more stylized drawings, smaller eyes for more realistic drawings, but always having a realistic reference might help. So this is how I would do the eyes. Always from the thinnest to the thickest. From the thinnest to the thickest. Depending if there is eyeliner or not, if there is whatever. You can also do some small eyelashes, always looks good. Again, more or less detail depending on your style. And an upper crease, like we have here. On this case, the guy has it right here. We will have it right here. Also, many times I don't do the lower lid. So if you don't, you can kind of not do the eye all curved. You can do it flatter here, just to mark that there is a lid here. Many times I only do like this with some eyelashes, but yeah, it depends on the style and the expression. But another thing on the eye is that, of course, we have this inner corner here with the tear duct, and for that I just do like a small hook with an inner part. Small hook, inner part. Eyelashes, we have the pupil. You can have a light source, a reflection, and you can do like around the pupil some small strokes just to look like more like an eye. You can also do a shadow here if you want, or not. This looking a bit more like an anime style, I guess. And we have very simple eyes. For the nose, and I guess this is a part that for everyone kinda is a bit more difficult. Something that might help with the nose is remembering that these are three-dimensional shapes, more or less 3 circles. So on the case of this guy, these would be the 3 circles. Then we can do them here. 1 circle, 2 circles, 3 circles. Okay? So what this means is kind of like where these circles connect. You see these, the space in between them, they can be the nostrils. So like they are commas, you know? Like you call them commas, right? Like on the sentences, blah blah blah, comma, blah blah blah. But on the other way, so small stroke and a little dot here. In between you can do like strokes just to define there is something of volume here, because again there is like a sphere over here. You see, there is a sphere over here, and on the end, this is where the tip of your nostril is, the corner of your nostril. You can define these more or less. Over here you can do like small curves too, but this would be your nose. You can also put here or not. I always prefer not to, and maybe do some shadows later, but not really define it with line art. It's better with shadow after. At least it's usually how I do it. So this would be for the nose. You can see we have a nose, and we go then to the mouth. So to the mouth, something that might help here also is kind of this same curve that you did for the upper lip. You can kind of replicate it down here and draw the mouth. People will have these or not. I kind of have a bit. Many don't, so this is kind of depends on your style. And then we do the upper lip. Just this. You can put it darker over here just to indicate there's a shadow, there is something here. You can also put it darker on the corners because the creases, of course, there is more shadow over here. And for this one, you can do it all. Many times I only do it here on the bottom lip, again because it's the area where there is more shadow, and I kind of prefer it like this. Small crease, and we kind of have a lip. You can also do it like this just to indicate the volume. You can do whatever, and it's not a mustache or anything. And for the eyebrows, we can define it again, or what I like to do, since we already have a shape, is like I really like individually drawing each hair, just like randomly. It's one of my favorite things to do. You just follow, it's like you're filling the shape with small random strokes, being that here at the end they become just one after the other. I really like drawing eyebrows. So here random to the top, here they start kind of curving, being that again all eyebrows are different. On this guy's case, they're all going here to this side, I guess, and kind of toughy over here. So it depends on what you're observing. I kind of like doing them like this in a very general way. And we have eyebrows. And this is it. Oh, and the neck should be something just like this and like this. Okay, with a shadow here just to indicate that it's a face going forward, and we have it. We already have somewhat of a face here. So for the hair, we can do whatever. This can be a female or not. Maybe I'm just going to do like a what can I do, like a bald head, or you can do really whatever you want. Maybe I should do another tutorial for hair, like if it's like this guy, you have like a tuffy hair, like here, and here's like just like this, I guess. And for this you can just like do like some individual strokes. This isn't really the point of this tutorial, doing the hair, but I can do a hair tutorial, I guess, if you want me to. Okay, so we have a girl or boy, or androgynous face. So you can see like usually female faces will be like here will be softer, or more female looking will be softer over here, and more male looking will have like an increased jawline. Again, this is just like a very, very general rule. Doesn't mean like every girl that has like a accentuated jawline is male or anything. Oh well, you do understand what I'm saying, right? I hope so. But like, if you want to put this face and to look it even more male, one thing that I would do is to the eyes, I would put them smaller. So these would generally be smaller. We are turning this into a very standardized male face. You can put more details on the eyelashes or not, but especially for the nose, I would do something much more defined. So with much more defined strokes. So for example here, maybe larger and like much more defined, and the strokes wouldn't be as curvy, they would be more straight lines, kind of like this, like with more defined features, for example. Really showing all the details of the face. And this is the curve that I was saying that then usually connects here to this area. You see? Actually, this nose, I would do it a bit lower. Probably a bit smaller too. But you can kind of start seeing, or maybe even not putting this one over here or like this. I'd kind of put it like this, smaller. And the lips, I would do them, probably I would redo them, and you can see if you put less detail on the lips, it looks automatically more male looking. Or if you do them like thinner, looks automatically much more like a male face. And the eyebrows, I would do them bigger and thicker, like this. So this is turning the face into a much more male form, the traditional one, I guess. Thicker, more defined strokes, like here also more defined, in here definitely the accentuated jawline, accentuated. So now you have a male looking face. Here on the neck, something that I will also do is kind of mark the where this is the apples, Adam's apple. Do you see that also in English? I have to check that. Here on the reference is actually going on this side. It's like a small hook. It's like, then you can, I mean, do whatever. Of course, something that would do this much more male looking would be adding some facial hair. We can also then do a tutorial for facial hair, I guess. But yeah, this is not the tutorial today for that. And this would be it. So we can put this even more beautiful now. So yeah, I guess we have a face here. This is how I usually do them. Of course, the details, we can get much more on those, I guess, on another video. But please feel free to comment below if you find this helpful or not, if you would do this in a different way. We're just here for sharing. There's a ton of different ways to do this. This is definitely not the only tutorial online, so feel free to check it out. But let me know how this went for you. And yeah, let me know of your process and everything down in the comments below. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you again on the next video. Bye! See you later!